Okay, welcome to ANZCRL Combined Racing League's Round 5 of the IndyCar Championship on Project Cars 2 on the Xbox console. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and we're looking forward to a very exciting 59 laps around here later on tonight. We're just into qualifying and got our eyes on Commander Jim in the Team Murray Chevrolet. So he's trying to find a little bit of pace. He wasn't quite there in the practice, the earlier 15-minute practice session. But obviously trying to make amends after, I don't think he was actually able to get to Texas. No, he missed the oval last week due to some personal issues or not being able to get online. He did try and get a reserve driver at the last minute but was unable, so that has cost him a little bit in the championship. He's down 8th in the championship standings of 12, but still a way to go. There's an 8-round championship, so this is the first start of our return part of the championship. So we've got 4 more races including this one, but we've got the big Indy weekend. Big Indy week, and we're starting off here with the road course at Indianapolis before we have the famous Indy 500 next Saturday afternoon, or Saturday night I should say, from about 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time next Saturday night for round 6. But here we are, and we'll see how these guys fare around the road course after having a taste of the oval. We're short of oval Texas last weekend. Actually, not last weekend, the week before. We've had a fortnight break between the halfway point, so the guys can regroup. The map didn't come up, so here we go. The map usually comes up with the sectors, but we've got to wait till they get some times up before we can see their better sector times. But Commander Jim goes up at the front, but quickly gets taken by Dark racing 40 behind him, and then Highlander beats it again with a 1:10.660. So Highlander, he's obviously subbing tonight for Maddie Seeking. That's the number 8 blue and white car that's been involved in a lot of good times in the first half of the season under the steering of Maddie Seeking. So he's got his confidence in Highlander. 177 to give it a go here for this round, as Darky's just weaving, getting out of the way for, I think it might be Highlander's teammate here, Commander Cirrus. Yes, it is, in the target car, the number 9. And Commander Cirrus coming away from a strong second position at Texas. Finishing just under 6 seconds behind Illogical Sports, who's has jumped shipped into the. He's normally a normally a Honda driver, and he's actually jumping into the Chevrolet. Though he's in the Chevrolet, at Texas in the Chip Ganassi Racing, subbing for the new married man, Night Havoc. And he won that race. Logical Sports did. So he's in the P51 Sim Sports, the number 10, who was signed up through Weary Night, and he's actually fastest in his own sector, I believe, at this time. Up by 200ths of a second in the second sector. May be able to creep up in front of Darky, who's in 5th. We'll see. No, he stays where he is, but he gets awfully close. But Sato's in the pits. He's the fastest man at the moment with a 1:09.704. So absolutely smashing the times at the moment, as the track is really starting to grip up for the guys out there. Just to find out what there was a 1:10.5 by Highlander in practice. So we've got already the 2 cars of Sato and Dado. How come these guys always seem to follow one another off my tongue? Sato and Dado. So Dado's second fastest with a 1:10.259 as he's just coming out of the pits now in the Ed Carpenter number 6 Chevrolet. Probably for his last attempt here to try and put this car on pole. So Commander Jim's just in the back there, still within the third, and he's still trying to get into the 12s. Night Pegasus in the very fast KVSH Racing number 11. Always seems to be there or thereabouts in the season. He's had some great results. He's had a best of a third, which he did at Sonoma Raceway National. Looked fairly strong there with compared to the other guys that were running so fast as well. He was off the pace, but he was just always there or thereabouts. And then we found out at Texas that he actually loaded up the wrong tune before the start of the race, so he was actually 80% down on power roughly from the gearing that he had. So he was maxing it out or something. I can't remember what he was telling me, but yeah, so that's why he was struggling around Texas. But he led the race a few times, but he just gets gobbled up as soon as the other cars got up to speed and tyre pressures. But he ended up coming home in 6, 3 laps down at Texas, so picked up some vital points for the championship and currently finds himself in 4th. Actually not 4th, sorry, he's 6th in the championship on 125 points, 1 point adrift from Dado Racer. So Dado dropping down into 3rd position after a sensational time by what looks like by Commander Cirrus. So maybe he's just cooling his tyres here, ready for another run. He's got time if he's got the fuel. We'll have a look at the speedo. Yeah, he's got 9 litres of fuel, Commander Cirrus, so he's looking very strong. And then he's second in the championship, 34 points off the lead from Sado. So the 2 red cars, the Honda leading the way though with Sado in the championship as well. So Sado's 167 points compared to Cirrus's 133. Now they all benefited from Dark Racing's 40 fortunate disconnect at Texas. So Sado's gone faster again, so he's looking at a 109.5 or even better. That's only in the first sector. Can he find some more time in the second sector? The car turns in so well there for him at turn 7. Obviously turns 8, 9 and 10 here. It's sort of like a windy section here where the cars just need to be able to have good response and not get the rear end unsettled. So he's still in for a good time. He takes out a couple of witches hats in his way for pole position time here. I can't see anyone better in this at the moment. Sado keeps on his way. He's already lost some time there, and that's probably why when we see him coming out wide. So we'll see if he's going to try and see if he can attack again. As Commander Cirrus is just down a little bit, but he's going to have time to be able to do another lap. Only just. The long transition out of these pit lane for this circuit too, around about 43 seconds, plus their pit stop. A massive pit lane. Maybe almost 45 seconds, so he's just not quite there. Commander Jim just in front lets him go. Can Commander Jim try and latch on? Oh no, he's just made a little mistake. It's Dado up into 3rd, still half a second off the pace, but he's in a nice slipstream. Oh, Highlander didn't want to let him go there. Is Highlander on the lap as well? Or does he think that he might have let him go? Qualifying's over now. Highlander is actually on the lap. He's up by only by a fraction. So Dado's still going hard too, but he's obviously got caught out at turn 7 with following Highlander. And here goes Highlander. Can he go up? He just goes by a little bit. Looks like Dado holds on to 3rd. Illogical Sports in Weary Nights number 10. Chev P51 Sim Sports crew. They've got all 3 cars here tonight. First time they've had all 3 all season, as we've been missing Weary Knight, and I think that's one of the nicest looking cars too, the number 10. Looks very nice. Out on track, Highlander's finished. Knight, Pegasus. Not quite getting the lap time out of that car as you'd expect, but there we go. Big time by Sato in the 109.704, the only driver to be in the 109s. And following him, Commander Cirrus. So we've got the 2 red cars on pole position on the front row. So that's going to be good to watch them go down, running down the main straight very shortly. Oh, and Sato's got a 1 grid place penalty as well. So it's actually given Commander Cirrus pole position. So the Chevrolet has taken pole tonight due to penalty from Sato, and Dado will still be third on the first or the second row there, down the inside, and Dark Racing on the outside in the Andretti Honda, and then Highlander subbing in the P51 Sim Sports car, the 8 for Matty Seeking in the third row, alongside with the Logical Sports in their third of the P51 Sim Sports. So they are in the first 3 rows tonight. And then Knight Havoc on his return on the 83 Chip Ganassi Racing, back in 7th position. And he's at the start of the 4th row. Alongside him will be Knight Pegasus in the number 11 KVSH Racing, Delara Chevrolet. There's a lot of Chevys here, but Commander Jim in the Pertec Team Murray Chevrolet will be rounding out the 9. And he just couldn't get his times down enough there. He's sort of slow in all sectors there. He's still fairly competitive, probably in the 2nd sector there, so we'll see what happens. But he's sort of losing out in most of the sectors there, so we're just waiting for the go ahead through with the other admin there in the lobby before we'll hit this race for the start of the round 5. And welcome, Lloydie. Thanks for giving us a hello, knowing that there's some people watching. So we've got the okay to go. So here we are. So they're going to have their formation lap. We've got the 9 cars all sitting ready to go single file. And 59 laps. So back in 2019, when we ran this in the series, we had 63 laps with a race time of 1 hour 24 minutes. So less than 4 laps, so that's close to about 5 minutes time difference. So hopefully we can get this race under the 1 hour 20 mark. We've had a few safety cars in a lot of the races we've had so far. The virtual safety car comes out if 2 or more cars get involved in an accident. And the guys then slow it down and they race to the flag, actually. And once they go over the start-finish strip, they then all slow down to, I think it's 150 kilometres an hour and maintain their positions. Any lap cars can get their lap back. And then the damaged cars come in for their repairs of the pit stop. And then all cars can come in the pits if they want. And once they rejoin the queue, the damaged cars only that were part of the accident, once they rejoin the queue, if they're a lap down, they can't make their lap back. They must sit at the queue. And basically racing will resume the following lap, even if cars are still yet to come out of pit lane that may not have been involved in accidents. So you've got to time your pit stops right. As I said, it's a long transition in this pit lane, about 45 seconds plus their time stationary. So very easy to fall a lap down when we've seen the lap times of around about 1 minute 10. The fastest lap here, 1 minute 11.407, was set in 2019 by Uncrewed Squid in the number 3 team, Penske Chevrolet. So we'll see how they go. They've actually dropped a little bit of horsepower compared to qualifying, I think. No, actually they'll be faster, now, because they get their push to pass button. So we should see, with a already 109 by Sato, we should see that lap record actually tumble tonight. 1 bonus point for the fastest lap goes towards the championship. Now, as we said in the championship, we have Sato 15 leading on 167, and then 34 points behind him is this man. On pole, Commander Cirrus for P51 Sim Sports. And then we have Dark Racing 40 in the Andretti Auto Sports cars at Honda 27. He is third in the championship, only 1 point adrift of Commander Cirrus. And then we have Night Havoc, who is on 127 points in 4th position. So that's a further 5 points behind Darky. So they're all vying for some good positions here, good result to get back up into the championship hunt. Dado Racer, as we said, is a 1 point behind Night Havoc on 126, and then a further 1 point is Night Pegasus. So there you go, on 125. So that's basically the top 6. And then Matty seeking his way down on 77 points. And as we know, we have got Highlander actually taking Matty's car tonight. So we'll see how that all goes. And then Commander Jim in that ever popular Pertec livery. So here we come around now, getting ready for the start of the race. Commander Cirrus has got the pole down the inside. We go at the green, but there's no overtaking until they all physically cross the start-finish line. They can overlap, but look at Sato already taking down the defensive inside line, protecting into turn 1 here. Dado's really charging hard, but pulling it up nicely. Looks like we're all getting through here. It's very close quarters into turn 1 normally, but they're all getting through here nicely by the looks of things. Nice, good racing by everyone. Highlander's just feeling, just ran a bit wide actually there. It opens up the door here for Night Havoc. Back up front here as we go down this straight between turn 6 and 7 and into turn 7. We've got Dado having a good look at Sato. And looks like he's going to be around the outside. If he can make this stick, he has. He's now up into 2nd position. Nice move by Dado early on. And this is giving a little bit of a breather for Commander Cirrus up front. He'll be enjoying this. Seeing this in his rear view mirror. This little battle behind. Oh, just tried to pick this up a little bit too early, as it looks like a logical. It was a Darky actually trying to defend from Highlander it was. Darky's dropped a few spots there back into 5th position after the start of this race. And Sato's under pressure here tonight. They all come filtering through out of turn 14 onto the famous Brickyard. The Brick's still in the starting strip, and we've got Commander Jim actually having a look down the inside. He's lost his position to Commander Jim, sorry. He's got the position on Night Pegasus. Dado's taken away from Sato at the moment. Not too sure what tyres the guys are running, but they have to run the blacks and the reds. On our screen will always be reds. A little glitch in the game, but a logical. Now putting that pressure on Sato. So the Honda of Sato is getting absolutely monstered by the Chevrolets early in this race. So again, Hassan takes the defensive line into turn 12. And again, it's just really conservative at the moment, Sato. So all the cars running hard, but look, here he comes. The Logical Sports got the inside, got the run in now. They're obviously going the opposite way to what we'll be doing next Saturday night. But look at this. Oops, here we go. Made that move. Now Sato's going to have to just tuck in behind. So he was the fastest man on pole with a 1 grid penalty, so started 2nd. Now he's dropped to 4th position. He's got a Honda teammate, or he's not his teammate, but he's got a Honda runner right behind him. There's Dark Racing 40. So into the 14s, the 3 leading Chevrolets all into the 13. So Commander Cirrus. Hey, latched Bonsai. Hopefully enjoying this, mate. Lap 3 of 59 for ANZCRL Combined Racing League's Indy Championship Series, first series of 2022, 4 series throughout the year on Project Cars 2 Xbox, with a WEC to start in May. So, but back to the racing here with Commander Cirrus. He's got a 1 second lead over Dado, who's chasing hard. And Sado's now seems to be comfortable there in that 4th position. He's got a bit of breathing room as Highlander. And Night Pegasus comes on through with Night Havoc dropping a position. So Night Pegasus is on a bit of a roll after being last at the first lap. He's now picked himself back up into 7th position. And see if he can pull away from this man here, Night Havoc, who, as we said, is 4th in the championship. Back up front with Dado now starting to, his tyres will be nice and truly up into temperature. Predicting a pretty fast race around here, around Indianapolis. The guys are starting to really get accustomed now, round 5 of the championship of 8 rounds of these IndyCars. It's been since 2019 since we've really run the cars in our group. So a lot of these guys now are starting to get accustomed to the car, their behaviour. Full damage on for this one. You've seen at Texas we had damage off due to the nature of an oval, and that'll be the same for the Indy 500 next Saturday. Wildcard entries are open if you're in Australia, New Zealand, Xbox Sim Racer on Project Cars 2. Come hit us up, ANZCRL on Facebook, or find us on our website at aus-nzcrl.weebly.com. But look at Dado now, putting a lot of pressure on up into turn 7. Will he make a move? He's dumped outside. Decides to pull. Oh, he was going to pull back inside, but Commander Cirrus left the door open. And can Dado do the round the outside like he did with Sado? He's making an easy job here of these red cars around the outside of turn 10. We haven't seen a move around there in these Indy cars yet, so that's a great move into turn 11. Part of the banking for a while until they turn back into the infield section here. Turns 12 and 13, very tight sort of corner, turn 13. And it's all about getting the power down and seeing if the car can hold around the inside. Don't drift it too wide around the final corner, turn 14, and back onto the famous straight here at Indy. And we have a change of a lead with Dado Racer on lap 6, or lap 5. Lap 6 now. I tell you what, the guys will be loving this at the moment, having some good, nice, clean laps at the moment. They're all sort of spaced out evenly up through the top 5 at the moment. 5th place with Dark Racing 40. So obviously we'd be still a little bit gutted at Texas after being disconnected. After, I think it was around about lap 60 or so. I think it was of the 173 laps. Let's have a look here. It was actually lap 62. We believe that maybe he got double disconnected from when Blue Falcon got disconnected at the same time too. So wasn't good outing for Darky as he was chasing down. He was 2nd in the championship at the time. And unlucky not to be also get through to the 70% race distance where he would have at least got the full points, but he gets half points he end up getting, but it still cost him in the championship. So Logical now starting to get close to his teammate. As we said, Logical Sports actually subbing at the moment for Weary Knight, getting some points on the board. The championship, Weary hasn't actually entered yet. He's entered into the championship but hasn't been able to race due to relocating houses. It's good to see the number 10 P51 Sim Sports car out there on track. So normally you'd be, I think it's the Penske cars. I think. Oh, the Chip Ganassi, I think they might be actually. Chip Ganassi cars, sorry. But the P51 sim source, fairly strong little sim group here in Australia on the Xbox, and venturing into a bit of iRacing as well on the PC. There's a few of the guys moving in that direction, but still back in here in the race, you can see Sado still staying in touch within 6 seconds of the leader. And there's a good possibility that some of these guys here at the front, who's doing the 12s and the 13s, may be on the reds, as we've just seen a time here by Night Pegasus as well, with a low 13, and Highlander's also into the 13s as well. So Highlander's dropped some positions. I didn't see what happened there, but Highlander's down. He was running up in the mid-pack, so something's gone there with Highlander. And obviously he's now trying to get back up there again, if he can. Starting to put a little bit of pressure on Night Havoc. Still a long way to go in this race for these guys. They're only just getting warmed up, or close to the wall. Highlander taking it right out to the high side before he comes into turn 12. Great layout, very fast as well, very fast circuit. And Commander Jim's about 30 seconds off the lead. 31 seconds. He's only just coming onto the start-finish line now to start lap 9. So just not quite there with the pace, but Dado still doing well out front, extending this lead ever so slowly each lap. Looking very comfortable, to tell you the truth. And he's been had some hard luck races, actually, to tell you the truth as well. He's been there or thereabouts, and just gets caught up. He ran out of fuel, or was close to running out of fuel, which I think it was at Sonoma or somewhere. I can't remember where it might have been. And he dropped some places. Actually, he might have actually been at Texas. I think it was Texas. He actually came second at Sonoma. Really on the pace at Sonoma. Keeping an eye on this little battle for 7th and 8th. Starting to heat up as, remember they got their push to pass too, so if I bring up the old speedo, you can see down there in the little blue underneath the speed that they're doing. They got 10, so they get 10 pushes to pass throughout the race. I just put, quickly go to a party chat, so I noticed my little icon's coming up, so that'll be annoying. Sorry about that, hopefully that's worked out. I was probably apologise to the drivers if they're driving around seeing my little icon coming up each time I was talking. That would have been a little bit annoying. As Highlander running out wide again, taking out those witches hats. So cars hasn't transitioned too well from practice to from qualifying into the race. So maybe he might be on those, as we said, on those red tyres, and they're just starting to wear out. They wear out a lot quicker. They're faster tyre, the red strips, but the alternate tyres, the prime tyres, are harder of the two, black compound. And I reckon you'll probably find Sato may be in there because he's starting to get that time down, and that's what I was saying. Once they start being used for a while, they start coming back to the drivers. But Commander Cirrus about to maybe do his fastest lap of the race. He was up Sector 1 and Sector 2. might take the opportunity to run on board with Commander Cirrus as he does his chase of Dado up in front. So enjoy a lap here around Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course. There you go, a lap around the course here. They don't muck around. Hope you didn't go for a cup of tea. You would have missed that. That's that quick. 1 minute 12.640. Oh, and Commander Cirrus, I think that's actually a little bit of a lag from him. Will go off. He's still rotating around. Quickly get away from there. Highlander is having still this battle with Night Havoc. So Commander Cirrus just having a little bit of a network issue there. He's still going fine. He didn't go off into the sand barrier that we thought he may have. So he's still on the chase here to Dado. Well and truly still at it. But Dado's doing a great job here, trying to pick up the full amount of points if he can. 50 points. I think it's for a win. I've got to double check. I've just been writing up a new series as well. Yeah, 50 points for a win. 1 bonus point for the fastest lap. So that'll do well if he can get all those to his hunt to try and get up into the top 3. Well and truly, if he does win this race with a 10-point gap from first to second, pretty much he would jump leapfrog Commander Cirrus up into second position. So it's a big race for Dado. And he's probably also enjoying this period of seeing Sado in 4th position as well. So anytime Sado's out of the top 3, the guys are really gaining on Sado, who's got a very healthy, as we said, 34-point lead in the championship to everyone else. Then it's very tight for the remaining 6 cars from 2nd to 6th. The remaining 5 cars, I should say, is very close. Not much in it at all. There's only 8 points between them all. But Dado just running up at the side of the wall. He probably wouldn't have got too much. Probably wouldn't have got any damage. The side glance in these not too bad. It's possible he might have got a little bit of rear aero damage. Hopefully he doesn't get anything too much there, because he's extended that gap to nearly 7 seconds to Commander Cirrus, who's now falling into the grips of his teammate Logical Sports again. And Sado's still lurking only a few seconds behind those two. And look at Darky. He's still staying in touch, as is Night Pegasus. He's made a lot of ground, actually. Night Pegasus is the car that's been on the move. So he was actually behind Commander Jim at the start of the race. Obviously we're up to lap 15, but slowly and steadily Night Pegasus has made his way back to this train for 5th position of Dark Racing, and then Sado in front of Darky. So what a sensational period of racing from Night Pegasus. He'll be very happy with this little stint here at the moment. Nice turned out car too, Night Pegasus. So how's he going on his times? He's actually down a little bit, so they're just dropping a little bit of time at the moment. Maybe these are soft tyres. We knew that pretty sure that he started on the reds. Maybe it's starting to get a little bit slippery on those tyres. And just behind Night Pegasus as well, we've got these two still going, Night Havoc and Highlander. Two Chevrolets battling at it down here for 7th and 8th. They're all chewing up a little bit of fuel now, so we stay green. Probably find that probably in the next 5 or 6 laps we'll be starting to see, maybe 5 laps. Oh, there's been a little bit of a collision there. Oh, that's a late spin also by Night Havoc too. So this is a virtual safety car that'll be caught. So where is Dado on the track? So it's race to the flag, so you should see if it's been called nice and early, he would be slowing down. Perfect time for pit stops. Not too sure. They're probably still discussing over the chat that this is a virtual safety car. Or maybe they're going to race to the next time around. None of these guys are going into the pits here at the moment. Though, again, when they have the little incident, it's only if they got 50% damage or more. So maybe they didn't get any damage in that sense. But what that has done, that's brought Commander Jim back into the little battle there as well, as he's just in front of Dado. Still on the lead lap, Commander Jim, so he would have been actually hoping for that virtual safety car to stay on this lead lap, but as we said at the start as well, as long as he's not involved in any accident, if there is one, he can get his lap back during the safety car period. So doing a good job still, Commander Jim, as Night Havoc is in the pits. So is this going to be a virtual safety car? So he's come in for damage repair. And it still goes, so they're continuing to go here. So no one called the virtual safety car. So they're going to keep going on, even though Night Havoc has gone into the pits for damage. So that's a strange one. Maybe it wasn't 50% though. Just double checking these rules here though. I'm pretty sure it was any damage on any part for the virtual safety car. 50% or greater to any part of the car, so it needed repairs. So maybe it wasn't quite 50% on Night Havoc's car, and Highlander's been able to continue on. It was only a side glance, and it was a real lazy sort of spin though by by Night Pegasus. Night Havoc, sorry, I'm getting all confused with these two, all these Knights and Highlanders. On the low screen, sorry people, but back up front we'll rehash the standing order. We'll go through them and get it back into the zone here. So Dado Racer leading on lap 19, and then following him is this man Commander Cirrus in position 2, and he's 8 seconds just there or thereabouts behind Dado in the lead, and Logical Sports in the number 10 P51 Sim Sports car in 3rd position. Very solid there, but Sato now is starting to gain. Look at that time. He's starting to stabilise those times in the 12. So Sato is coming on strong, and he's within striking distance now of a Logical. Any little slip up, Sato will grab it into the 3rd position. Dark Racing 42. He's dropped off a little bit in position 5, and starting to be a little bit vulnerable to this man, Night Pegasus, who's probably been the comeback drive so far of the day so far in the 6th position. Absolutely guns blazing. Highlander, as we've seen that little incident with Night Havoc, and that's brought Commander Jim obviously into 8th position after Night Havoc's had to do a green flag pit stop. But don't forget, and he's fastest up in that 1st sector already on his fastest time. So he's flying. He'd be on the reds now, the softer tyre, and ready to go. So we might stay on board here with Night Havoc and see what happens. So no virtual safety cars at this stage. It was very close to have one. He's almost a second up there in Sector 2. A 0.8 of a second up on his best time. So getting onto these reds has really helped Night Havoc. Don't forget, if there's no safety car in the next couple of laps when all the rest of the field are going to have to pit, though I guess the damage repairs probably caught Night Havoc a little bit longer in his pit stop, but that was a 1:13.2, his fastest lap of the race by Night Havoc. And now Sado starting to latch onto the back of a Logical Sports to make his move. And they're coming up to the lap traffic of Commander Jim. Oh, and it looks like a Logical made a little mistake going out into turn 12. That's got Sado. Oh no, he's into the pits. So Logical's into the pits. So he's going to do a green flag pit stop. So you'll start seeing all these guys filtering off into the pits. Dado, will he stay out for one more? I don't think so after running out of fuel at Texas, or near enough to running out of fuel. He won't be risking it at all. I'm sure he'll be in this lap around. And Darky's into pits. He's followed in. So engine damage is on. Well, mechanical damage. So they do get engine damage. So sometimes the cars have to pit when they're in the pit stops, get damage, engine damage repaired, because it does eat away at their horsepower eventually in the races somewhere along the line. As Dado's coming on in, nice little entry. He's pushing the limits here, Dado. Will we see his competitor here of Commander Cirrus come in as well? Yes, he's following in only 2.9 litres, so they're all going to be doing green stops here now. Green flag stops, they're all coming in. Night Pegasus he's been saving fuel. He's got 4.2 litres compared to everyone else. So he's going to take the lead of the race. So he goes another lap change on lap 22. Night Pegasus takes the lead of this race, but he'll be in this next lap around. So the number 11, KVSH Racing, Chevrolet of Night Pegasus leading here on lap 22 of 59. Most of the cars are all coming in for their compulsory stop, or their required stop, because they're out of fuel. We've had green flag running from the start of the race. We've averaged 8 safety car periods every round. And can this be the first round without a virtual safety car? We actually had 12 virtual safety cars at Texas, and then the first round at Watkins Glen there was 8, then Long Beach there was 8, and Sonoma Raceway there was 8. So far 0. But they're all grouped up here to up into turns 4, up to 5 and 6, I think. I'm just trying to pick up where they are. There they all are. So Commander Cirrus and Highlander, he has yet to pit though. So Night Pegasus is in the pit lane, and Highlander dropping here at the moment. He's got to get in the pits this time around. Dado will resume the lead of the race again. So it was only a short, brief period there. You've got Night Pegasus just dropping in pit lane, waiting for a few little things to be done there, maybe the fuel. As Commander Cirrus now, as they all coming out through past, and Highlanders in 1.5 litres. So Dark Racing 40 will jump up into 4th position. And he's now latching on to Commander Jim Slipstream, put him a lap down. So Logical Sports is, yes, he will get in front of Night Pegasus, as he's just painfully going down the long pit lane here. He's stuck at 60 kilometres an hour, I think it is. Yeah, 60 kilometres an hour until he can go. So off he goes. And Highlander's the same, so he should get out in front of Night Havoc. Only just so. Night Havoc's now coming onto the main straight. He's going to have the speed. He's been putting in some nice competitive lap times as well after his pit stop. As looks like Dado there's got to try and lap him again as he's coming up now to Night Havoc. Here's the two red cars, Sato and Commander Cirrus. Commander Cirrus doing the chasing this time, so he's dropped from the during the pit stop. So Sato's made a ton of spot. Commander Sato was in 4th, I think it was, before the pit stops, and he's now made his way up into 2nd position. So big move by Sato during the pit stops. So the Honda-powered IndyCar of Sato in the RLL racing team has got himself up in the 2nd and 1.057 seconds up on his best lap. Chasing down Dado. And with Dado now in the 13th too, I wouldn't be surprised maybe he's on the blacks if they started. Well, I'm not too sure what they would have actually started on. If he started on the reds, he went the whole way without having to pit. So maybe they do last the distance. I might just bring up some timings after Sato's time there. With Sato with a 1:11.379 in the best lap. So that was that lap then. So he's definitely on the softer compound now. So all the drivers now on the softer compound. As Dark Racing's fastest lap was that previous lap as well. And so the times are all tumbling. And same as Night Havoc's fastest lap was the previous one as well, as is Commander Jim. So yeah, I would imagine that they're all now on the... they're all on the press the wrong button again. Brent, all on the softs, on the red strips. And Night Havoc and Highlander back at it again for round 2. It was only about 5 or 6 laps ago that we've seen the little incident into turn 2. And what can Night Havoc do? He's definitely a lot more comfortable than Highlander at the moment with a pace of 1:12.9 that last lap compared to the 1:15 of Highlander. And Night Pegasus as well in the 15. So I think that that's what may have happened. They started on the reds, they last the full stint. But now it's mandatory that they must use the 2 compounds. Pushing too hard on these reds as well will get the tyre life chewing down pretty quick as well. The temperatures come into it. We'll keep an eye on this battle here at the moment. We'll stay on it for position 7 and 8. As you can see also Dado's the man, and you got the red car of Sato. He's cleared out from Commander Cirrus too. Commander Cirrus is struggling a little bit after the pit stops. 10 seconds off the lead. Sato's the big mover after the pit stops. And he's continuing his charge as well with 11.2 that previous lap. So the man behind this man here, Night Havoc, is your race leader of Dado Racer, who's coming on through to see if he can clear Night Havoc very easily, which is getting into the nice area where he will be able to if he just maybe follows him through this little section, gets a good toe down the start-finish line straight. And he shouldn't get held up too much, but he's almost a second slower than Sato at the moment. Sato is gaining on him, nearly a second a lap. There goes Dado to lap Night Havoc. A little lock up into turn 1. It looks like Highlander now is starting to find the pace there. He's a little bit faster that previous lap around, so Highlander's now starting to extend that gap between himself and Night Havoc. But this is the man that we're all watching of the charge, Sato 15, taking this middle stint, his time to mount his challenge to the lead of this race. May not be long now that Dado's going to start seeing this red car of Sato 15 in his rear view mirrors. He's got some a lap car between himself and Sato, which will be Night Havoc. But still, Sato's still the only car in the 11s. He's been in the 11s the last 3 laps. And again, he's roughly a second, almost a second faster than Dado that previous lap. So absolutely barreling down into the sights here of Dado. Dado's just going to try and get a logical sports down through here. He's doing that. Down through turns 11 into turn 12. Easy to pinch a brake into turn 12 as well. Fires billowing out of the exhaust out of turn 13 into turn 14. Dado going halfway distance, just past halfway, leading this race here on lap 30. 29 laps remaining. Just to take note with the virtual safety cars as well, as we have not seen one all race long so far. There's no more virtual safety cars with 10 laps remaining. So once we get to lap 50, there's no more safety cars. So the end of lap 49. There'll be no more virtual safety cars, so it's getting closer and closer to that period. The way they've been running, as Highlander is now not as comfortable he was a couple of laps ago, with Night Havoc back onto the back of him now. And Highlander's just starting to pull away from the racing line to try and not give Night Havoc the slipstream. And behind him there is that is, I believe, Sato. So they're going at a cracking pace at the moment. All these cars. Night Pegasus actually is in the 16s, the same, or is the slowest there. Commander Jim was in a 14 that previous lap. And Highlander is actually in the 14. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what tyre is actually on that car of Highlanders at the moment. I would bet that it's maybe the harder compound tyre. pretty sure that we know that Night Havoc is on the softer tyre, the red. He'd be wise to just to see if he can let Sato through here so he doesn't get muddled up with the braking. Continue on with his race. Try and chase this man down. So Sato being held up between this little battle has cost him a little bit of time. So Dado's had some breathing space up in front, extended that gap to 5 seconds again. Let's have a, I was just going to go on board of Sato. Another red car would have been as well, but let's not. Let's go on Night Havocs. Actually, I think it might be better to actually watch this battle on the camera instead of going on top of the roof cam. It's getting very close indeed for an opportunity here. It's only a matter of time, I reckon. Showing the nose. See if he can unsettle Highlander. Subbing for Matty Seeking in the number 8 P51 Sim Sports car. He's going to go round the long side of the outside here for turn 14. Pick up that slipstream, see if he's going to dive down the inside. Here he goes. He's making his move. Is he going to be committed? Nice and clean. Oh, a little pinch on the entry, but still being able to hold on to it. And there you go. Nice clean pass. And they may have just been having memories, little nervy moments there from the previous time that those two tried to get that pass done through turn 2. But nice and cleanly at turn 1 and 2 for those two this time around. Dado's losing a bit of time. He's losing a lot of time actually through with Night Pegasus. You won't be happy about that. Night Pegasus actually seems to be racing a little bit too much for Dado. He had a healthy gap, but now he's lost himself roughly 2 seconds in that little period of section of the track between in the final sector to Sato. Dado won't be happy about that, but he's going to have to get his head back down into the game here. You'll have a look at this time, a 1 minute 14. We'll maybe see Sato into a low 12, maybe. No, Sato was here at 12.4. There's Highlanders in pit lane. He's going to get off those black tyres, I think. He realises he can get to the end now, the magic number to get to the end of the race. And he's probably going to fill that up, put the reds on. Tank full at 70 litres, and off he goes. So he's vouching that this race is going to go under green the whole race. Don't forget, if there is a virtual safety car period in between here and then, between now and lap 40, end of lap of 49, start of lap 50, lap cars will get their lap back, so Highlander will get his lap back. But not ideal for Highlander at the moment, so he's going to get down on those red tyres, see if he can now pump down some times. You can see he was losing time to Night Havoc. So they can run the red. They'll be stopping again before the end of the race, and they'll all be putting those reds on again. If they haven't already run the hard tyres. Not too sure. That's the hardest thing with the game, with the broadcasting here, showing the red strip tyres. It doesn't matter what tyres they're wearing on those cars, fitted on those cars. If they got the black tyres, I don't know if Dado actually have run the black tyres yet. He's still in the 12s. He was sort of lapping around that sort of time at the start of the race too. So Sato was struggling down there in 4th and 5th, actually 5th position at some stage, and got up to 4th over Dark Racing 40. And has made his charge, but here he comes. Dado's coming in now. As is Sato. Don't think there's any virtual safety car. I think this is their pit window to get to the end. The red tyres are showing out there for Sato, so they are for Dado as well, but as I said, they don't differentiate the difference there. But when you're looking at Commander Cirrus, I'll actually show blacks there for a while, but they're reds. And they go to work here. They're all coming in darkies in, so they're all following one another again. But can Dado, is he going to come out back in the lead? He has. Only just, look at this. This is close. Oh, if only we could double check what actual tyres they are on at the moment. And darkies coming out. The Night Havoc's also in the pit lane as well, so he's getting his tyres done and fuel up as well. So, oh, there's been, oh, there's actually a virtual safety car. So I've missed there. There's been an incident, so they've all taken the opportunity to have a pit. But did Dado get some damage there when Blue Falcon was actually trying to get his lap back? So we have got a virtual safety car period. Wasn't thinking that we were going to get one. On lap 35 it was. So who was the man involved in the accident, wonder? Can be a single car if they lose a wing, but I didn't see any sort of big major incident. So Night Havoc's going around hard. Highlander's going around hard. Oh, Commander Jim's going too hard. And having a little spin. And who was that went flying past? Oh, that wasn't Dado, was it? No, Dado was there. It was probably... every single one that I've probably selected and not seen. So there's Night Pegasus actually into, well, actually we'll get into 4th position. No, he's coming into the pit lane as well. So we'll have to wait to see how this all unfolds here. They're all getting their lap back, these guys here. So maybe we'll see there. All the cars are out of the pits that would have pitted first for any damage. So, depending if it's these two who had damage at all, Illogical Sports and Night Havoc, and they would have to wait to join the queue before we start. But we could get our racing resuming on lap 38. Oh, we missed the virtual safety car of actually what happened, guys. Sorry about that. It's obviously someone. It might have been a single car accident. And if they lose a wing or a wheel, but no one lost a wheel, that's for sure, because everyone was moving very easy. But I didn't see any lost wings either, so maybe it was 2 cars involved and they received that damage. 50% or more on any given part. So Night Pegasus is the last car out of pit lane. So let's go through the push to pass. Dado's used 1. Sato's used 3. So he's got 7 remaining. Darky into 3rd position, hasn't used any yet. Commander Cirrus hasn't used any. Illogical Sports trying to catch up the queue. He hasn't used any. Either is Highlander, either is Commander Jim. Night Pegasus has used 2. And Night Havoc has used 1. So here we go. We're resuming now. So this is one of those cars in the queue of 5 cars. Was involved in the accident. Oh, big moment here. Sato's gone in the back of Dado. We've got 3 or 4 cars now all involved in an accident. Darky's lost his wing. He's actually leading the race without a wing. Front nose, cone's gone. The wing. They still race to the flag here, but it's another pit lane visit for Darky. I reckon for the top 4 here, we might actually see this man here, Logical Sports, in the lead of this race. So safety cars breed safety cars. So we've had 2 safety car periods in the space of 3 laps. So lap 38. So Logical Sports just needs to know these cars all in front of him are probably damaged. And this Night Havoc, he's going to be going to get his lap back as well. So we can have all cars on the lead lap after this. Oh, big moment. Who was that up in the wall? I think it's Dado. He's had a massive moment up in the wall. This could be a race end for Dado. What's he done? He's lost his front wheel. And Illogical Sports, the man that I was going to say this maybe comes home and takes the lead of this race. Where's Illogical going? So they're going to try and push, if they can, Dado into pit lane. So this is a big moment for Dado after leading this race. It's all come undone. I don't know how he ended up in that barrier, but we did see him go pushing straight up into the barrier there on the top of our screen previously, when all he had to do was try and get in the pits. He obviously had damage to his car. But was that from a case of pushing too hard to try and get in the pit lane? But at the end of the day, the race wasn't going to start until all cars get back onto the queue. So this is going to be even longer wait now for everyone. Sato's dropped from a possible first position down into 5th with Commander Cirrus leading this race under safety car with Highlander from last now to second. Dado is DNA has returned to pits with damage to his car. So Dado Racer on lap 38 is a DNF. So that's a big talking point, and I'd be interested to know what actually happened to have Dado right up on the wall, out of control. So his season is well and truly over, basically. I'm just trying to make the maths here to see if he's actually going to get full points. He's not. He had to get to at least 41 laps. He's only up to lap 38. So he's only going to get half points for position 9. So wow, what a moment in this motor race. Dark Racing 40. Just moving slowly, with Commander Jim now, who has been last most of the race, all the way up into 4th position. This is why you never give up. He's run the whole race pretty much in position 9, and now he's up into position 4 and possibility of fighting for a podium. So we're going to have a few more laps, I'd imagine, on the safety car. As Night Havoc now comes back into the pit lane. Night Pegasus comes around to pick up that position. And Logical Sports, he's going to have to go in the pits to repair that nose cone as he's tried to push Dado, as we saw before, into the pit lane. He's lost nose and the rear. Not a good looking car when it was actually at the stage, I think, leading the race. Could have been leading the race after, because he wasn't involved in any accident. And then we saw Dado up in the wall and Illogical trying to push him into pit lane. So maybe they came, it was actually this part of the circuit here, maybe they came together. And it was still race onto the flag too. So even though we had the virtual safety car, they were still racing to the flag. And this is going to be a lengthy stop for Illogical. So I'm assuming they're going to let him stay on the lead lap, because theoretically he should be, but he was being very kind to try and get Dado back into the race here. So what are they all going to do? Are they going to let him come back out in front and unlap himself out of the queue and wait for him to come to the back before they restart. So that could be 2 laps before we'll see the start of this race again. No, they decided to go. So off they go. Because all the cars involved in the accident have joined the back of the queue. And here we are. This is a better start this time. But Commander Cirrus has gone wide. Tyres again, not up to pressure. And Highlander is now leading this race. And he's another driver that was in fighting with Night Havoc in position 7 after the round of the first pit stops. And he's now leading the race. For P51 Sim Sports, the number 8 for Matty Seeking, subbing for Matty, the super subber Highlander at the moment. Can it give P51 Sim Sports their first victory of 2022 at the IndyCar Championship? Dark Racing 40 won't make it easy. He's in second position in the Andretti Honda. And the battle here between Commander Cirrus and Sato now continues on like it did at the start of the race. Commander Cirrus let them cooked it into turn 1. As did probably Sato, that got in the rear end of Dado. Hard luck story there at the start of the restart on lap 38, I think it was, after the safety car periods of our first one on lap 35. And they got it all wrong into turn 1, with all the tyres all down, off pressure. But here they go again. They're at it, these 2 red cars. The Chevrolet in front of the Honda. Big battle here. The 3rd position. Commander Jim in 5th. Just in front of Night Pegasus. He's doing his hardest to see if he can get up into the top 5 tonight. Just as we thought the race was just settling down and not much going on, it's turned itself on its head. And we've had action aplenty. This big battle here for 3rd position. Commander Cirrus trying to break the slipstream for Sato. Sato's hanging in there. He seems to have a better run here, but had to back it off a little bit because Commander Cirrus is just in the right spot of the circuit, making it hard for Sato. These 2 are going to slow themselves down if they continue on this way. Commander Jim still holding off Night Pegasus for into position 5. So we've got everything happening. The boards are all lighting up here. We've got side-by-side action through turns 8 and 9. Commander Cirrus still being able to hang on. Dieselogical Sports will be hoping for another virtual safety car period here somewhere. Oh, into the pits. There was a virtual safety car. There must be. They're into the pits. What are we trying to look for here? These 2 are going into the pits. Oh, it's Night Pegasus. He has lost his front wing. So he's been the culprit on lap 43 to bring out the 3rd caution of the night. So this is going to give a Logical Sports the leg up that he needs. He needs to get to the back of the queue. Now Highlander didn't go into the pits, either did Darky. So Darky's now up into 2nd position. Oh, he was already in 2nd position, sorry. It was Sato and Commander. Commander Cirrus was in 3rd. Can he get? He hasn't been able to get out, so Sato's leapfrog Commander Cirrus in pit lane. Night Havoc stayed out, so he's in position 3. So what a topsy-turvy night of racing we have seen here tonight. You wouldn't have picked this earlier on the night here with Night Havoc. Struggling in position 7 most of the race. Now into 3rd position. He's going to have a hard charge in Sado and Commander Cirrus. Now, I'll tell you what. After seeing what's happened to Dado with some of these cars out braking themselves into turn 1, I wouldn't want to be Night Havoc at the moment. We'll see, and also Highlander, you've got to be careful here. We know Dark Racing 40 loves a good late brake manoeuvre. He can be so strong under brakes, Darky. But you got to know when Darky puts it down the inside there, sometimes nice and hot, you got to make sure you just give him that little bit of room. If you want to fight that position, he's going to make it hard for you. You're going to see that outside of that track fairly quick, so you got to make your mind up if you're going to battle that or if you're going to just back out of it. Sometimes the safer option is to back out of it and try and tack him another part of the circuit. But yeah, he's very good at that. And here comes a Logical to make that lap back as we're still waiting for... oh, hang on, where have we got? We got Night Pegasus. Here we go. So once he joins the queue, we'll be restarting the lap. Restarting the race. And you can see all those red cars. The cars that on the lap in front of him, so he will be joining them very shortly. He's the blue one, and the white dot come flying through is obviously Illogical Sports, and Commander Jim's the car that's just about to join the queue there of all the others. So a brief moment for Commander Jim up in a nice high position. He's got himself down in the 6th position after that safety car period due to he was in position 5 in the top 5, but it looks like Night Pegasus has had a little move or touched him up and lost the front wing, which has brought out the safety car. And we're just waiting for Night Pegasus to join this queue before we get going. So Logical Sports, the last car there. So it looks like we're going to have one more lap under the safety car. We're not going to see Night Pegasus join the queue here. So Logical should be able to be in that queue with all the leaders. So we're going to have all cars on the lead lap, all 8 cars. Dado Racer, accident on lap 38, and he's out of the race. With Highlander leading the race after having some problems early on, but I believe all these cars will be all on the sticky red tyres, so we're going to see all that pace back into all these cars. Dark Racing 40 in 2nd, Night Havoc in 3rd, looking strong. Sado has been very strong, but it just takes a little bit to get that car sorted early on in those early opening laps. You just make it work for him. Commander Cirrus, that last restart, he had to leave the race, drop to 3rd. What can he do now this time? Can he watch them crumble up, fall up in front of him and benefit from all that? Commander Jim looking good in 6th position. Night Pegasus in 7th. He won't be happy there. He wants to move forward. That's why he lost the nose cone that previous few laps ago on lap 43. That's why we're under safety car caution at the moment. Logical Sports now coming on to the back straight. So he's just joining this queue now. So we will be going green on lap 47. And they only have the next 3 laps until there'll be no more virtual safety cars. So hopefully we can stay to only the 3 and we can have good clean run all the way to the finish here. 13 more laps remaining. So Highlanders get things organised. He's it's going racing this time around. He's going. So he's jumped the queue. They've had them napping. Dark Racing should have been a lot closer. Here we go. Look at this battle here as Sado's having a look, and so does Commander Cirrus. Right up against the wall is Commander Cirrus. Don't want to be pushing it too hard. Here they go. Night Havoc's got out of that. It was wise. Sado and Commander Cirrus have gone on through. Night Havoc down to 5th position. But Darky back in the field right up. That's got to be careful that he doesn't cop a penalty there. I don't think he will, but obviously he got caught unawares at the start from Highlander. And got himself on an early 2-second lead. But Darky just starting to get that Honda back into power zone here with Sado now nipping at the heels as well, only less than a second behind Darky. This Commander Cirrus car's starting to go everywhere, so that's not a good sign for everyone. Let's try and get off that screen because it makes everyone sick. Imagine being the cars following him at the moment, so poor Commander Cirrus is having a few more network issues. We've seen that happen a couple of straight into the wall, as you can see with what's going on with Cirrus. He's way out. He's out somewhere in Queensland, out the. I don't know if he's near the mines or somewhere, but his internet's not so crash hot wherever he is, and causing a few little dramas here on our screens. But hopefully everything is all right his end. But Highlander into the 11.7. It's not the fastest lap we've seen. Sado with 11.4, I think, earlier in the race. But look at this battle behind for second. Sado's having a look down. Oh, fake to move. Hasn't upset Dark Racing 40, sorry. Darky kept to his line as these two are back at it. Commander Jim and Night Havoc. And Commander Jim. Oh, Night Havoc's just had to come out wide. And it looks like Commander Jim had to back out of it. I think Night Havoc might have seen the screen of the stuttering of Commander Cirrus's car. Logical still haven't been able to get past Night Pegasus yet. So this is a nice little battle. But back up here for the position 2. Sado. Matching times with Highlander, and he's been able to get in front of Darky. So he's going to have that chase down. So at the end of this lap, there's no more virtual safety car periods, and Sado's up on his fastest lap in Sector 1. Hold on to your seats, guys, because this is going to be a run all the way to the flag. Just over 10 minutes of racing remaining. And Sado's up by nearly 0.2 of a second, 200ths of a second almost in Sector 2. He is on a mission. This is the reason why we find Sado 15 leading this championship. He is so strong, especially in the later part of the race. He's always about the long game, and he's done an 11.180. So that is the fastest race lap we've seen. So back down here in this little rubble of cars. Look at him go as Logical down the inside of Night Pegasus. So he's finally made that move. Commander Jim still in position 6, so he'd be happy if he can hold on to this. And I say Logical Sports won't need much to be able to get past here of Commander Jim. Logical seems to be a lot faster at the moment, and here he comes down the inside. Made it stick nice and easy. So Logical Sports picks up P6, and Commander Jim now following. Trying to hold up if he can Night Pegasus. This could be a nice little battle between these two. I think obviously Night Pegasus probably be a little bit apologetic, I guess, if he did run into the back of was it Night Havoc or was it Commander Jim? I can't remember why they had that safety car. I think it was Night Havoc actually. So he'll be taking it easy. He's made a little mistake so far, but obviously we'll learn from that. And try and make a nice clean pass here. Sado now well and truly knocking on the door of Highlander. as we run down the straight here. And Darky trying to hold off a fast Commander Series who, Commander Series has actually got in front of him with a lagging. I don't know where Commander Series is on track. I don't think Darky knows where Commander Series is on track either. Does anyone know where Commander Series is on track? He's lagging everywhere later part of this race, but as we said, it's green flag for the remainder of this race. And Darky does not want to get caught up with the lagging of Commander Series. He's currently in third position by our timing monitors. This is a good little period here for Commander Jim if he can hold off. But I thought Night Pegasus looked like he had a little run here, but it's now Commander Jim has to weave around to try and keep that man at bay. But we're just going to keep an eye on these two. I've just seen that come in really slow. Oh, what's happened here? Here we go. Thought he overrun into turn one. Sorry about switching cameras there, but I've just seen Sato now within half a second, so we may have to keep a look on the lead here because the lead of the race is where it's at. So we'll watch this now. You can set up the timing monitors if Commander Jim can still... Oh, it looks like Night Pegasus has made that move just as we've flicked over, so Night Pegasus now up into position 7. All cars on the lead lap, 17 seconds separating the 8 cars. We've got 5 to go. After this lap, 6 to go, count this one. Six to go after this one. But doesn't mean anything to Sato because I think that he's going to put this pressure on within the next couple of laps. We may see Sato in front of this race. He hasn't had much time in front. Dado was the one that led most of the laps. Safety car period actually destroyed Dado's race, unfortunately. It's where it's all gone pear-shaped from the restart. But here we are. Highlander benefited massively from the safety car. He was languishing all the way down near the back. Here he's holding off for the lead of the race. Lap 54.59. And it looks like Commander Cirrus has been able to settle down his car there in third position. But look at Sato looking every which way here into turn 3. Going to follow him, try and get a good run out of turn 4. It's flat out chat through turns 5 and 6 here. Onto the back straight. Up into turn 7. Oh, he's done that fake move that he did with Darky. And that's actually caused Highlander to turn in early. So it's a distraction. That's what Sato's trying to do. Force Highlander into that little mistake. There was a little mistake with Highlander turning in early in turn 7. But he's been able to get the power on out of turn 10 into 11. A little pinch of the brake. That won't hurt. Oh, he's struggling. It looked like he was struggling to turn it in there, but it's gripped up. But he's just a little bit wide out of turn 14. Will that give Sato a run? He doesn't need much once he can latch onto the draft. We've seen Sato fairly strong under the brakes into turn 1, maybe a little bit too strong, but look how close he's come within Highlander. Oh, I don't know where we're going to see him move. I reckon turn 7 is probably Sato's favourite spot. He gets a good run through turns 5 and 6. Now Highlander's protecting the inside, so it's given Sato the perfect line. And he's done it. Sadow's done it. Nice move. Excellent move by Sadow, and Highlander's now into position 2. Awesome move by Sadow. You won't see more of a textbook move there. 4-star Highlander down the inside. He had the racing line and he was on the nice grippy part of the circuit, and he's made it stick, and he continue on. Now Sadow's free to burn here. He's used many of his push to pass. Highlanders on his push and pass. They're both on their push and pass here, trying to see if they can get that last little inch out of the performance of the car. Oh, and Highlanders locked it up. He kept it off the back of Sadow, but that was so close. You wouldn't want to be any closer than that. Highlanders now got to just try and protect position 2 if he can. Just get on that, stay on the podium. We've got Commander Cirrus charging here in the in position 3. Not far off his fastest first sector time. Darky's dropped a little bit into position 4. I think he's just happy to still stay there. I think he may have got a little bit disorientated when Commander Cirrus's car was going a little bit haywire there a few laps back with the internet. He had the blinking go on. But Sadow now pulled out a 2-second gap, obviously from Highlander locking up. That was what it was from the turn 1. So lap 57 we're on. This 1 and 2 more laps remaining. Can we see anything from these men here in the minor positions? Will they do anything? Night Havoc in position 5. That's a good recovery drive from Night Havoc. Night Pegasus doing good in 6th position. So this is Commander Jim. Logical Sports has actually fallen behind. So something's gone wrong there. Is that some damage or not? Not too sure if he's got a little bit of damage on the front of that car at all. No, it looks all okay. But he's in position 8, so he's dropped a couple of positions. And Commander Cirrus is the man that's on charge. He's put some late race pressure, more pressure on Highlander. Will there be any team orders here? We've got Highlander actually subbing in the P51 Sims Sports car of Matty Seeking. And obviously Commander Cirrus second in the championship. May be talking about maybe letting him through, who knows, but Highlander did want to actually race this as a wildcard entry regardless. He just filled in just to help the points, as the drivers in the championship can use reserve drivers to score points towards the championship. So in the best interest of the group, Highlander's jumped in that number 8 of Matty Seeking's car. So we'll soon see. There's only I'll be on their last lap shortly as Sadow 15 coming through turns 12 and then up into turn 13. And he's got going to take the white flag for the final lap of this race. But Commander Cirrus is still putting pressure on Highlander. But Highlander's been doing a great job after having a few issues early on. I like how he's recovered. And he did put a little bit of pressure. He did try and come back at Sadow in the turn 1 and almost took the back of his gearbox out. Maybe took the rain light out of Sadow's car. He did have it on. We'll see if it's still there. It was so close. That's not even on now, so maybe he did take it out. It was that close. But here he goes. He's only got a few more corners to go. He comes up onto the banking, which is normally turn 2 for the Indy 500. Only a couple more corners to go. So here we go for round 5. Victor is Sato 15, and he'll extend his championship lead. I think he's also got the fastest lap of the race. So can anyone stop Sato 15? And he's coming in true form, ready for next Saturday's big race. Highlander into second. Commander Cirrus home in third. Dark Racing 40 in fourth. Great run by Darky. Probably thinks he should have been on the podium there, but Night Havoc coming on home now in 5th position. Good job by Night Havoc. He had to pull himself together after getting involved in a few incidents there, not to his own doing, but he's done well to come home in 5th, as is Night Pegasus. Logical Sports end up getting that final position from Commander Jim. Unfortunately, Commander Jim lost that position on the last lap to a Logical Sports. So there you go for the end result. We've got Sato 15, who did get the fastest lap as well with 1:11.061. Almost into the 1:10s. And then Highlander in second position, as we've seen. Commander Cirrus in third, rounds out that podium. And then Dark Racing 40. He was pretty strong as well. So look at those top 4 cars. All had the fast, all into the 11s. Then Night Havoc in 5th position. Night Pegasus, he'd be still happy with that, but I think he might have thought he could have been a little bit higher too, Night Pegasus. But look at the quality in front of him too. So maybe he'd be happy with that 6. I would be happy with that 6. That's some good cars in front of him. Good drivers. Logical Sports, he was up there, and he obviously helped, tried to help Dado get back in, and then he never got really back into the rhythm again. So he was down there in 7th, but made that position on Commander Jim on the last lap, I think it was. And Commander Jim rounds out the 8 cars here tonight with Dado Racer in 9th position on lap 38 with a DNF, unfortunately. 3 virtual safety car periods through this race. That's the best, cleanest race we've had all season. So I hope you've enjoyed the race. I've been your host, Woody Lizard. And until next time, which will be on Saturday, go to our website, find out all the information. We'll have a qualifying period in the afternoon. We have a break, and then the race from about 7:30 Australian Eastern time, standard time, and we'll be into it on Saturday the 9th for the Indy 500. Until then, see you later.